Today saw the release of the second issue in the Return to Vader's Castle comic series, and as we discussed in our Spider-Mall video last week, this week's issue featured Grand Moff Tarkin. Picking up from the first issue, we see the interior of Vader's castle on Mustafar, where his attendant Bane is torturing a captured rebel thief named Lieutenant Hud, who attempted to steal an ancient relic from the Sith Lord. We learn from Hud that he's been Bane's prisoner for what he only recognizes as an indistinguishable amount of time, waiting until Vader can return to deal with the intruder himself. As a setup to the comic's premise, Hud had been forced to listen to Bane's terrifying stories featuring galactic monsters and madmen. But this week's issue is different in that the story featuring Tarkin is actually Hud's story and not Bane's, one that, as we'll see, was given to him from an Imperial defector. During the era of the Empire, the story begins with a shuttle approaching the Imperial Star Destroyer Optima with Governor Tarkin on board, who's carrying out a surprise inspection of the capital ship, much to the dismay of its commander, Commander Kremp. We quickly learn that Kremp is a member of the Tarkin Initiative, the secret think tank within the Empire's Advanced Weapons Research Division, and Tarkin was there to ensure the commander didn't just meet their targets, but exceeded them. However, the inspection was interrupted when a transport was found speeding towards the Star Destroyer, and when it was discovered the shuttle was using neutrino radiation to counteract its deflector shields, all they could do was brace for impact as the shuttle crashed through the hull. After crews quickly rushed to see what was happening and stabilize the ship, a low scream from a massive beast emerging from the smoke immediately told Tarkin what and who had caused the damage, as it was clear they came for Tarkin himself. As Tarkin ordered a team of stormtroopers to deal with the intruder, with the efforts having no effect, the beast would explain the story of his creation and why he was referring to Tarkin as his father when the Grand Moff refused to inform Commander Kremp. We learn that the beast was part of an experiment carried out within a Tarkin Initiative research station, with Tarkin scientists taking the body parts of multiple species and stitching them together to create the ultimate weapon. Tarkin would confirm to Kremp that he oversaw the project, but it ended in failure, and despite the think tank's efforts to destroy all test subjects, one had clearly escaped and now looked to unleash his revenge on Tarkin. In a very Tarkin-like fashion within the new canon, it was Tarkin who would then hunt his own creation. After confronting the beast, with the Grand Moff the entire time referring to the project's failure and disappointment, he revealed his trap. As Tarkin escaped on the shuttle he boarded the Star Destroyer on, he would explain to the beast that he magna-locked a set of Tarkin Initiative experimental mines to the capital ship's central power core. Therefore, to cover up the failed project and destroy the last remaining evidence of its efforts, Tarkin was prepared to blow up the Star Destroyer and its entire crew, destroying the Optima to correct his mistake. Commander Kremp then ordered the crew of the Optima into its escape pods. But Tarkin was already one step ahead of them, having disabled the clamps that would release them into space, ensuring there were no witnesses. At that point, it would be the beast who would help Kremp and her crew escape. As everyone entered the pod, the Tarkin Initiative's creation would use his power to physically destroy and release the clamps manually, explaining that he chose a path of redemption, going against his created purpose to kill and destroy to save others instead. As Kremp's escape pod ejected into space away from the Optima, she could only watch as the creature and the Star Destroyer were destroyed. However, realizing that Tarkin was the true monster in the end, the experience would then push Commander Kremp into joining the rebellion, and it was the example of the humanity shown by the so-called failed experiment of the Tarkin Initiative that would allow Hud to hear this story firsthand from the former Imperial commander. The issue ends with Hud noting that monsters always get what's coming to them. With that, as Bane went to continue his torture of the rebel, he turned to realize that Hud escaped from his binders, setting up the next issue, where Bane will likely be in pursuit of the rebel, hopefully with a bit of help from the Dark Lord himself. So there we have it, Tarkin's path to finding a better ultimate weapon. Thank you very much to all of the Patreon members of Star Wars Reading Club, as your support is so greatly appreciated. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can find a link to it in the description below, along with all of our social media links and a link to our Star Wars gaming channel. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me... For Torture Webs.